So let us start with the first of the primitive data types, which is int. Int is a short form for integer, and it is the data type which is used to store numbers and to perform numerical operations upon them. The usage of an integer is like this. We first specify the data type, which is int, then we specify the name of the variable, and then we can assign it to a number. Int is a signed data type, which means that we can also use it to store negative values. An integer data type supports all the standard arithmetic operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and a fifth operator represented by the percentage sign, which is basically to find the remainder. The usage of these operators will be something like this. I can declare a variable which will store the sum of x and y, which in this case would be 31, or I can use the same variable and use it to store the difference, which would be 21. I can also use it to store the product or the division, So let us start with the very first of the primitive data types, which is int. Int is a short form for integer, and it is used in order to store numbers and to perform numerical operations upon them. The usage of an int is like this. To begin with, we specify the data type, which is an int in this case. Next, we specify the name of the variable, which is x. After that, we can assign a number to this variable. Int is a signed data type, which means that you can also save negative numbers in it. The integer data type supports all the standard arithmetic operations, which in this case would be plus for addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and another operator which is represented by the percentage sign, which is for finding out the remainder between two numbers. If I have two numbers, int x equals 26 and int y equals 5, then I can perform the following operations upon them: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and the operator to find out the remainder between 26 and 5. Before we proceed to the lab exercises for integer, we need to look at one of the core Java concepts, which is a function. So what is a function? A function is a set of Java statements which are grouped together in order to perform an operation. So you can think of a function as a unit, and the unit will contain a set of statements, and the statements together will be performing a given operation. This is what a typical function would look like. So let's go into this function a little deeper. The first statement is public. The second is int, which is the data type which is going to be returned by this function. Sum is the name of the function, and you can give the function any name of your choosing. After the name of the function, you have an open bracket, and then we have an int x and int y. These are two variables which will be passed into this function as input. Following that, you have a close bracket. The body of the function is contained within the open curly braces and the closed curly braces. So what exactly does this function do? The sum of x and y is then assigned to the variable z. Once we get the sum, it is returned with this statement. So with this example, we can understand the typical layout of a function. So a function first accepts an input, which in this case are the variables x and y. It then performs an operations or a set of operations, which in this case is x plus y. Finally, it returns or gives back an output. Here you can see that the output is the sum of x and y, which is contained in the variable z, and the value which is returned by the function is returned by using the keyword return.